Which leads us to the question, what is impossible? But maybe a better question to ask is, what is possible? Do you know that if you went to the mathematics department at any major university and asked a specialist in something that is called topology, if you asked them and said, is it possible to tie a knot in a piece of rope without letting go of the ends, that person would tell you that it is impossible to tie a knot in a piece of rope without letting go of the ends in a three-dimensional world. Watch close. So far, so good? Yes? Watch close. Have I let go? No? Continue watching. That was the tricky part. Are we still good? Okay. Watch close. 1, 2, 3, just like so. That is a knot. Make sure that is a knot. Make sure that's not some sort of a fake knot or a magic knot, but is it really a knot? Just a moment ago, we just agreed that it is impossible to tie a knot in a piece of rope without letting go of the ends. And now maybe we're starting to realize that the things that we think are impossible are not actually impossible. You see, there are people in the world every single day, not just in the world, but in our worlds, the worlds that we inhabit, and the people that we know, that will tell us that things are impossible. Now, why do I tell you all of this? I tell you all of this because it all goes back to the magazine article. It goes back to the quote. You see, the author of the article's first impression was that it would be impossible for me to do anything on stage. The unfortunate truth in my life, but not just in my life, in many of our lives, is that throughout our lives, there are people who will tell us what they think we're capable of. There are people who will label us with certain labels and decide that you are only so good. And then we start to believe that. Which leads us to what I refer to as impossible principle number 1. Belief. The things that we believe always prove to be true. I didn't believe I would have any trouble in that school play. I thought it would be fun. There was no problem with my belief system, so I decided to go out for the play. I tell you what I didn't believe I could do. I didn't believe I could learn something called sleight of hand. I remember being in that magic shop and seeing some magicians, and one of the guys that I was standing next to goes, you see that sleight of hand? That's really, really hard. There are some people that spend their whole life with that discipline. And I thought, oh, it's really, really hard. People spend their whole life doing that or learning that? That's not something I could do. And because I believed that, I didn't do it. For the first 2 years doing magic, I would buy the things that would simulate sleight of hand. So I had to have some sort of a special prop or some sort of a special thing with me to do magic. If you met me, if you saw me somewhere and said, hey, can you show me a magic trick? And I didn't have the things, I couldn't do anything. Live big with belief and imagination. B-I. Belief, imagination. Have you guys ever heard that phrase, think outside the box? Yes? What does that mean? This is the interactive portion of the show. What does it mean? Think outside the box. Just give me some things. Think creatively. Think about things in ways that other people don't think. Notice what it says and notice what it doesn't say. It says think outside the box. What does it not say? It doesn't say do outside the box. Why not? Why? Isn't that more specific? Doesn't that make more sense? We can get a better outcome if we do outside the box. It's because thinking outside the box is where it all starts. The act of creation begins with thought. Everything begins with imagination. The world constantly asked Harry Houdini how he did the things that he did. In addition to being a great magician, Harry Houdini was the world's finest escape artist. And they said, how do you do these things? This is not a magic trick. This is a physical feat. What you saw is exactly what it takes to escape from a straitjacket. There is no secret to it other than what you saw. But instead of answering their question, instead of saying, well, I worked hard, or what he did was he gave them this piece of wisdom. He didn't give them a secret like, oh, here's the secret to the trick. Here's what he said. They said, how did you do that? And he said, my mind is the key that sets me free. Live big with belief and imagination.